Lockheed Martin is pushing to upgrade some of the oldest F-22s in the fleet. And today we're going to break down what that means and how it ties into the future of the U.S. Air Force air dominance game plan. The F-22 Raptor is the United States Air Force's premier air superiority fighter. It's known for its stealth, its speed, and unmatched combat capabilities. But not all F-22s are created equal. The Air Force has 185 Raptors, with only 143 of those being combat-coded Block 30 and Block 35 jets. And we have older Block 20 jets that are predominantly used for training and testing. These Block 20s were once at risk of being retired, put in the boneyard. And this is only just a couple of years ago. And this was due to budget constraints where the Air Force wanted to retire them, reallocate funding to other projects such as the KC-46. But Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works is advocating to bring them up to speed with new modern upgrades. Why? Well, because F-22 remains critical to air dominance, especially with no clear replacement on the horizon. And while we do have the F-35 that's fully combat coded and in the fight, as well as the F-47 that's on the horizon, there's no guarantee of when that's going to be ready. And in fact, Lockheed's already pitching the F-35 Ferrari mode, which we talked about last week. That would be a stopgap between the F-35 and the F-47. Think of a 5.5 generation fighter, whatever that might be. So last week at the Air and Space Conference in National Harbor, Maryland, where the Air Force and Space Force gather with industry, Vice President and General Manager of Lockheed Martin Skunk Works revealed ongoing discussions with upgrading these Block 20 jets. This isn't a new idea, but the Vice President of Skunk Works, O.J. Sanchez, is pitching this idea, and he's optimistic that the Air Force will greenlight a plan to make these older Raptors more combat ready. So what is in store for the F-22? The Block 30 and 35 jets are already getting major overhauls and upgrades, and Lockheed wants to extend similar upgrades to the Block 20 fleet. The current modernization program includes a software that's defined by open architecture systems, such as the one we're talking about in the B-21, which makes it easier and faster to integrate new technology. Not something you have to go back and put in a budget request or wait years for it to be implemented in the next software cycle. This is a game changer, keeping the F-22 relevant against the fast-paced world of emerging threats. The upgrade also includes the Infrared Defensive System, or IRDS. Think of like a modern-day IRST, infrared search and track, but better. Enhanced stealth coatings, improved radar, and a beefed-up electronic warfare suite. We can also think of improvements to some pods that might be carried on the jet with advanced sensors, some more modernized drop tanks extending the range of the F-22 while still keeping it stealthy, plus the Raptor, the leading edge at the forefront of crewed with unmanned crew teaming up, the collaborative combat aircraft, the CCAs, so fighting with manned and unmanned right alongside one another, the future of warfare. Why bother upgrading these Block 20s? Well, with only 143 combat-coded Raptors and many of them often down for maintenance, every jet counts. 185 is not that many to begin with. Block 20s are currently limited to training, and also when we start thinking about the technological gap between Block 20s and Block 30s, that's a significant hurdle, even going from a training squadron to a combat-coded squadron. There's more training that's required to bridge that gap. Undoubtedly, you'll still need aircraft for training, but you would have wingmen who come out of the B course more ready to go. So at a minimum, just a more capable training platform to begin with. So last year, a congressional watchdog warned that retiring these jets could create an operational and training challenge, because if you lose those 35 jets, well, at some point, you're going to have to take from the 143 combat-coded jets and start training pilots as well. But it has been noted that the Block 20 jets are still very capable. It is kind of wild to think about just putting an F-22 out to pasture. That in combat, or if the need arose, that these Block 20s could be used in a pinch even without any upgrades. The push to upgrade these Block 20s comes tied to the uncertainty around the F-47. And now there is an argument, something to look at, of Lockheed versus Boeing, but nonetheless, we know the F-47 is not going to be ready on time. It's just a fact of how we do things. The F-47 is that next generation air dominance fighter, NGAD. It'll be a 6th generation fighter, and it's expected to replace the F-22. Originally, we needed it by 2030. When it will actually show up, again, let me know what you think. And while we said, hey, the F-47 is going to roll out, really, when you invest in an exquisite piece of technology that takes decades to produce and procure, you have to get it right. Maybe putting all your eggs in one basket isn't the right play. We're used to mixing and matching fighters and bombers, all platforms across the spectrum, to lean on each other's strengths and weaknesses. I mean, ultimately, you're probably going to have some stopgap between the 5th generation and the 6th generation fighters, whether that be the F-35 on Ferrari mode, continuing to upgrade the F-22. Who knows what that's going to be? Lockheed sees these F-22s as a bridge, just like they've been pitching The F-35 Ferrari mode, that 5.5. A lot of dollars tied to it, so it doesn't surprise me that they're going to pitch these ideas, but I don't think they're inherently wrong. So with upgrades, the F-22 could definitely stay in service for decades to come. We already are seeing F-16s that rolled off the assembly line in the late 1980s and early 1990s that are going to fly into the 2040s. The B-52 is going to be 100 years old by the time it's retired. So extending these jets is not really that big of a surprise. They're basically rebuilt by the time they get to that point, but nonetheless, when you're looking at a capability, having the quantity is definitely an important piece of it. So upgrading Block 20 F-22s could significantly boost the Air Force's combat readiness fleet, and readiness is lacking these days. When it comes to facing near-peer adversaries or being able to match near-peer adversaries like the J-20, the F-22's role is crucial. It's proven, and it's a need when it comes to that fifth-generation near-peer threat. Ultimately, it all comes down to funding. Can the Air Force justify the cost of upgrading these older jets while still investing in the F-47, the F-35? These are big dollars and big ask. It's not a crazy idea, and I definitely think it underscores just how proven the F-22 has been and will be. Even if the older Block 20s are upgraded, it can still make sure that the gap is a little bit closer between training and combat, as well as be utilized effectively in combat. Clearly, Lockheed is confident in the Raptor. They built it. And again, it's proven itself time and time again. Its long-term future remains unclear. Those Block 30s and 35s will be around for a while, but how long? Again, we don't quite know. But we do know the F-22 will remain the cornerstone of U.S. air power and dominance for the foreseeable future. We'll keep upgrading it, and it will remain dominant as it addresses modern threats. But let me know what you think. Should the Air Force invest in upgrading these Block 20s, or just say skip it and wait for the F-47? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time.